Hey guys, welcome back to CLOWNFISH TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about The Witcher on Netflix, which we haven't really talked about too much because, you know, it's got some baggage.
I actually want to see it. Truth be told, I am not familiar with the game or the books, but I really want to see the show. It looks really good to me, and I might have to read the books.
Well, that's coming from Geeky. Some of the fans of the franchise, of the books, of the games, are concerned about some of the decisions that they are taking with The Witcher. However, it's really interesting because star Henry Cavill says that he has a surprising stance on toxic fandom. Actually, no, let me strike that. Comic Book Resources, which lately has proven itself to be, I believe, anti-fan. They've had some very interesting articles written lately that seem to goad fans.
Even when there's nothing that people are complaining about, they try to find things people are supposedly complaining about, even when they're not, to try to cause fights and label people.
Right, so they're saying he has a surprising stance. It's not surprising.
No, it's a normal stance.
His stance is, you know what? Fans have a right to complain because they're passionate about their franchises.
It's a normal stance. Actually, before we get into that, please subscribe if you haven't done so already. We are almost at 80,000.
I think we're a couple hundred away, yeah.
Yes, we're almost at 80,000. We're heading for 100. I really wanted 100, but we're... someday. So,
we'll be in the six-figure
Please subscribe. Make sure you are still subscribed because some people were getting unsubscribed because there was another purge. So
yes,
double check that.
Yep. So anyway, we're going to talk about this because I think it's very interesting. The Comic Book Resources of all these sites are that they're surprised.
Yeah.
That a celebrity like Henry Cavill would come out and say, hey, I don't think the fans are that bad. They're just passionate.
Well, it's interesting because they ask him a loaded question, first of all.
They always do. They always do.
So he said, he was asked in an interview with Jake Hamilton, he was asked whether or not in The Witcher's world, with the hostility he's met with, despite his arguably noble intentions, was at all comparable to the toxic fandom. The actor said, when it comes to fans, it is a fan's right to have whatever opinion they want to have. And people are going to be upset. I don't necessarily consider that toxic. I just consider that passion.
Ooh.
I think he says more down below.
Yeah, well, okay, so they run his interview. They run the interview here with Jake Hamilton, YouTuber. I don't even know who this guy is. 73,000. How does he get... Hey, we have more subs than Jake Hamilton. Can we get Henry Cavill on our show?
No, we're probably the wrong opinion. We don't think all fans are trolls.
I agree with Henry Cavill.
I agree with him too. I'm saying
he's awesome.
The interviewer is asking hard questions that are clearly, leaning a certain way. We don't clearly fall into this idea that everybody's haters, so we would never get the opportunity.
Yeah. Anyway, after this, then Comic Book Resources, scratching their head, is completely baffled by this response because Hollywood lately has been trained to attack fans of existing franchises.
Attack first, ask questions later.
Right. As Cavill later explained, the hostility of Geralt's world is rooted in bigotry, so it can't truly be compared to the occasional negativity vocally expressed by fans. The Man of Steel star is no stranger to the kind of fandom discussed in the interview, having appeared in several negatively received DCEU films over the decade. His view is that passion is not necessarily toxic, seems to be a view shared by The Witcher showrunner, who interacts with the fan base quite often and occasionally takes their views into account, but also quit, I think quit Twitter last year anyway. So this is interesting. There were some complaints during production. The Witcher fan base has been relatively accepting of everything that they've been shown. Have they? I know that
I thought there was a lot of problems back when they were doing the casting. For a good reason.
That was the most controversial thing with Witcher that I'm aware of. Now, I am not a big Witcher fan. I know we have some very passionate Witcher
fans. I know. I remember back when they were getting ready to start this, they had a casting call out where I think they put it very politely, it said a female minority was what they were trying to cast for the character. Was it Ciri? Yeah,
Ciri. They were worried that they were going to, now, these characters are obviously Anglo. They were worried that they were going to race bend the characters.
Well, you read at the time, I remember reading the casting call, and that's what it sounded like. I'm sorry. It was potentially, maybe, possibly. No, it was out there. People were mad, understandably so, because in this case, it's not something you can just race bend because you want to. The lore of it, you cannot.
Yeah, now they said the casting call, which may or may not be legitimate. Now, I have not been...
I heard it was.
Yeah, I have not been following this drama. I have not been following
Let
this
me
drama.
ask you, knowing how things go, do you believe for 1 minute it was not legitimate?
I believe it was legitimate. I believe there was backlash, and I believe they backpedaled.
That's what I think.
That would be my take on it. Now, whether or not the fans are happy with the casting choices now, I'll be honest. You guys are gonna have to tell us, because again, I'm not a big Witcher
But
fan.
I really do want to watch this.
I'm gonna check it out. I am familiar with the game. Now, what's interesting is Henry Cavill is a Witcher fan, because he actually based his version on the video game.
Yeah, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, so he said he played through the game multiple times, now he said he doesn't have an American accent, but he did try to make sure that the character was the character, and he did the best job he could do bringing that character to life. So we'll see.
I gotta watch this. Apparently, is it open? Is it out? Because apparently it looks like it's out, because it said first impressions are positive. Oh no, it's gonna debut
December
on the 20th.
20th. You gotta.
Oh, that's the same day as Rise of Skywalker, which they actually moved the Mandalorian episode to the Wednesday before, so that it didn't interfere with the Rise of Skywalker. But they're gonna run Witcher right up against it.
So which are we gonna watch?
Well, if you have Netflix already, you can just go see Witcher, and you don't have to pay extra.
Yeah, and then after you binge Witcher,
then you can see
Cats.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, you can see what everybody's saying, and then make your choice from there.
I think the Witcher Cats combo works really well, because they'll probably drop it around midnight. You can binge The Witcher, and then you can go top off your evening with Cats.
Well, see, that's a memory's face if I've ever seen one.
He's been through some shit.
Mm-hmm.
He has been through some shit. It actually does look pretty good. Now, my first impressions of it, and here's talking about how he took inspiration from the game. My first impression from the trailer was actually, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I thought,
like I said, we're not like, the deep fans that some of you might be, and and if you don't like it, I'm sure there's a good reason for not, and you're allowed to not like it. And you know what? If you like it, you are allowed to like it as well. It is all allowed and all okay. I mean, even Henry Cavill says it's completely fine.
That's right. So, he gets mad props. I'm actually sad he's out as Superman. I think he was a good Superman in a bad movie.
Yes, I think that
Does that make sense?
It was a bad movie.
Does that make sense? I
hated that movie.
He was a good Superman in a bad movie. And I think that
Superman doesn't kill people.
No, that wrecked me. I was like, come on, not Superman. I think he was a good Superman though, and
He looked good in the suit.
He
did. I'm sorry.
All
right. You can wear the suit.
I'll wear the suit. I'm not gonna look as good as he does in the suit.
You will to me.
Thank you.
14 inches of fun.
I'm super where it counts.
No, I'm just being nice. I tell him. I tell him that to make him feel better.
Oh man.
No,
now
he is. He's very nice.
Speaking of Superman and Henry Cavill and drama, he didn't support the release of Snyder Cut. He probably wants to wash his hands of all of this, but he said that he misses his mustache. Now this is actually written by the same person who wrote the other Henry article, and they're getting it from this one video that this guy
did. They do this. They'll take one interview and they'll write like 10 articles off of one interview. Yeah. Like he said one sentence, let's make a whole article about that.
Now, he knows what it's like to be on the receiving end of Twitter.
Right.
Henry does, because he made comments last year, and I do remember this, where he basically said that he doesn't really date too much, or he's afraid to date because he's afraid he's going to get Me Too'd.
And people are like, well, if you don't do anything bad, you shouldn't be afraid of that. But
sometimes it doesn't
matter. I mean, let's be honest. Do I think all claims are wrong and false? No, not at all. But I do think that, some people who want attention, might possibly consider doing that. Just saying.
Yeah. So I think, wow. I forgot what he said. He says it's very difficult to do that. There's certain rules in place, because then it's like, well, I don't want to go up to her and talk to her because I'm going to be called a rapist or something, he said. So you're like, forget it. I'm going to call an ex-girlfriend instead, and then just go back to the relationship, which never really worked. But it's safer than casting myself into the fires of hell, because I'm someone in the public eye, and if I go and flirt with someone, then who knows what's going to happen. And
even if it could be that he's not even saying they're going to accuse him of it, that somebody watching it might accuse him of it.
Yeah, because the media is always watching.
Right. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily, the person he wants to talk to is going to make the accusations. He's basically saying, if I look the wrong way at somebody, next thing you know, the media is going to be like, oh my God, what did he do? And with places like Comic Book Resources, I kind of don't blame him.
They're gonna pounce. They wait to pounce. I mean, Look what happened to Ninja. Ninja's like, I'm not gonna game with female gamers, not because I'm anti-woman, but because I don't want people getting the wrong idea and I'm married.
And then my wife being upset because people were spreading rumors that aren't true.
Right.
I thought that was very cool because, you know, he's putting his family first. And you know, I thought that was pretty, you know, admirable, actually.
Yeah, and you don't put yourself in a bad position. But
plus, he owes his platform to no one. I mean, quite frankly, if he worked his ass off for the platform, he doesn't owe it to somebody, male or female, to, you know, give them a guest shot.
Yeah.
He can if he wants to, but it's his platform. At the end of the day, he can decide who's on it and who isn't. And he doesn't owe anybody anything.
Yeah, that's true. That's 100% true. So, I don't know. We'll check it out on the 20th.
I am very excited to check this out, actually.
It beats the alternatives, I guess.
Yeah. I'm quite excited for this one. I really am. I kind of want to see it. I'm actually thinking, you know, Squid King loves to read. It's like he loves to read. He reads everything he can get his hand on. And I'm wondering if he would like these books.
I have some good friends who have told me the books are very, very, very good. I have not read them. I'm ashamed to admit I haven't read them, but I don't have
I'm not ashamed to admit it. I don't have time to read.
I don't have time to read these days either. So, yeah, I guess the books are really good. I am somewhat familiar with the game, but...
Well, I'm actually maybe thinking about getting the books for Squid King anyway. So we'll see.
All right, so that is Henry Cavill's take on fandom and toxic fandoms, and I really wish he were in Star Wars.
It's not surprising. It's just a normal response. Like, I'm not going to say everybody's toxic just because they don't like something. They're allowed to like it. They're allowed not to like it, which is what we say all the time. That doesn't make them bad people. I mean, do people get out of line sometimes? Yes. Are there people that go too far? Yes. But is that the vast majority of fans? No. And I'm tired of the media taking fans who don't agree with their opinion and somehow making them some misogynist, whatever name they want to call them that week, going to Twitter and digging up parody accounts and talking about how they're you know, women haters. Anyway.
Yeah. You know, comic book resources. But yeah, Henry did Jake Hamilton, 73,000 subs. You know what? Henry, call us. Have your people call us. Come on our show.
That's right. I would lose it.
You would lose it.
I would.
All right, well...
I love you, but I would.
Okay, well, maybe don't call us right away.
Now he's going to be mad at me. Anyway. This is coming from the man who told me if he could marry anybody, he would have married Audrey Hepburn. So, you know, instead of saying me. So he can't say anything.
But she's dead.
Well, I said alive or dead, and you didn't say you, baby. I'd marry you. Your answer was Audrey Hepburn. I thought it was... Without even missing a beat. Audrey Hepburn. I'm like...
But I thought
she is very pretty, and she was a sweetheart. I get it.
But I thought it was in addition to, like...
Wait, there's more? You're going to marry to both of us? What is it, sister wives? I mean,
no. If you were not available, who else?
Well, she's not available either. I'm more available. Sorry, so you can't say anything.
Anyway, we're gonna wrap this up. We'll just ship Henry and Audrey together, and
there you go.
That would be really weird. Okay, we're gonna wrap this one up.
Yep.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.